you sure?
This is what you want?
No. Are you sure that this is what you want?
Oh,
Are you sure that
like
this
a
is what
question.
you want, Galen?
I think I began thinking about the end, somewhere in the second season. It started to feel like, well, okay, how long does this story go? When I started the project, I had no sort of set number in mind, and I had no particular ending in mind. I sort of knew eventually the show was going to get to Earth, and that was going to be a key element of the series, because that's the concept. And, you know, you didn't want it to be Gilligan's Island where they never get off the island. So eventually, they're going to have to get to Earth, and that meant that there was going to be a closed-in story on some level.
We found a couple of these scattered among the bones in sites around the planet.
What's your point? They're not human. They're Cylon. All of them. All of them.
When I directed my episode, mine was the first one when we came back. So I got to bring the family together and sort of gather everybody and welcome them back to the set. And now we're starting up and everyone's happy. But it was strange because we're starting up again to end the show. So it was just like a lot of mixed feelings and sort of reactions on everyone's part.
Do you remember what we said on New Caprica? How we talked about trying to live for today?
Well, you better think about that, because maybe tomorrow really isn't coming. Maybe today is all we have left.
Then we started to realize what the show was. It was really about an ending. It was really about, the Galactica's last journey. It was about her last mission and the last battle, and it was about getting to this planet, and it was also about how we say farewell to each and every one of these characters, and also sort of looking back, way back before we even knew them, and before the miniseries, and what their lives were like, and how that sort of tells us who they really are here at the end.
Episode 20 was the beginning of the end, and that's when everybody was beginning to understand that we were no longer going to have Battlestar Galactica to go to, and it was sad, and I'm sorry it's over.
When we set out to make Battlestar Galactica, we absolutely wanted to blow the wheels off the genre. We absolutely wanted to redefine what science fiction television was like. And I think we absolutely believed that it would take a miracle to pull any of that off. It's not for me to say ultimately whether we did or we didn't. Someone else, probably a few years from now, is going to have to look back and decide if that was actually accomplished.
From an entertainment standpoint, I think it's a beautiful ending. I think it's an exceptional script. And I haven't even seen it. I heard it initially was supposed to be a 2-hour finale. I believe we created a 3-hour finale, and there's even talk that it could run as long as 4 hours, because it's just huge, it's big, it's full.
We hadn't really focused in on what's the end of each individual character. How are we going to end Lee's story? How do we end Kara's story? How do we end Adama's story? Is Laura going to die before she gets there? Is she going to die once she's there? Is she going to die? How are we going to play that? What does Earth mean to them at that point in the story? What's the mechanism by which they find it? What's the final action story? What's the final battle? What's the resolution of the silence? All that kind of didn't happen until we actually sat in the room and started to break the final episode.
Ron had an incredibly strong idea on where to go with those final episodes, which were brilliant, by the way. From the scripts are incredible.
All of us are very grateful for being given the opportunity to create these characters in this show. There will never be another one like it. It is a full story with a beginning, a middle, and an end.
I think that a lot of people had a great moment of closure with the ending of the filming of the series finale. Very important things happened, and there's a great sense of this is an ending.
I think that the final episode that I directed, which was the episode right before the finale, was really the death of the ship, where the ship explodes and kills a lot of Cylons and a lot of human beings. And we're working together to try to save the ship. And in the process, we have to give it up because it's the termination of Battlestar. We're abandoning ship, Ty.
No. No, you can't do this.
I have to, so. She's dying. And we both know it.
David Icke and I had a few conversations about sort of images from the last episode that we tossed around. Six walking in New York City was something that we talked about early on as just a final image of the show. There, we knew we were going to get to the real Earth, in the mid-season finale, and then we would get to our Earth by the end of the show, later.
How you got there, we didn't know, but we decided, let's end it the way we always talked about, and let's end it on our own terms.
This character for me became the most thorough and full character I've ever developed on screen in my entire existence as an artist. I will never get this opportunity again.
It's been one of the greatest characters I've ever played. I hate to say goodbye to this character. And yet, like I said, this journey as an actor, as a human being, from first Battlestar to the second, has expanded me, has challenged me, has helped me grow as a human being, has helped me face fears, insecurities, has been a life journey, like I said. I have come to a whole new place in my life, in my heart, my mind, and my soul as a result of not only the living between the two shows, but as a result of these two shows.
It's hard to pick one thing. I mean, I'm very proud of what we did with the occupation, with the stuff we did down on New Caprica. It was that really kicked it. I mean, as if it wasn't up enough notches at the time, but it sure kicked it up a few notches for me.
Battlestar was the most collaborative television show that I've ever worked on and probably ever will work on. It was a true family. It was. I've said it before. I'm spoiled for life with this show. It's not, it's not hyperbole at all. It's the truth. I feel like everything I do, certainly in this medium, from now until the end of my career, will constantly be measured up against this experience. And I'm just ridiculously fortunate to have had it at the beginning of my career.
This show was an amazing opportunity for me. It completely stretched me. It gave me so many different options. I said this once, we have a lot of very talented actors on our show with a lot of talent, a lot of skills, and who apply themselves very much, and they're very gracious.
I wrote in our book at the end, we had a yearbook, that there's a condition, it's called having too much fun, and maybe I had it, because I do, when I meet people today and I say, I'm just like, I think I had, maybe we all think we did, but I think I had like the most sensational character, an absolute gift.
Towards the end, it was a real kind of, hard thing to say goodbye to, It was a real kind of like, we had grown so much together and shared so much together that I think it was, for me, once in a lifetime, and I'll be so fortunate if I can be a part of something as great as Battlestar Galactica.
The questions that the show poses, the subjects that it talks about, that puts a certain amount of pride, I think, in the cast and crew who are working on it, who are excited to be a part of it, and I'd say it's been a pretty beautiful experience. It's been really great.
It's like, oh my God, this is an incredible show. And it was an incredible dawning for me, having really no idea what I was stepping into, to then see how special of a show this was.
I'm going to miss it. I think it's a great show, and I'm going to miss everybody that was on the show, so, except Eddie. No, I'm kidding.
Where we went, with my character, where we went was outstanding. When you leave him at the end of this story, he's exactly where you think that he would be. He came full circle.
Battlestar Galactica was a very, very special show. Eddie told us from the very beginning, enjoy this, kids, because you're not going to have another one like it. This is a one of a kind. This is something that you just don't come across very often. It's when you get a group of people that are completely in sync, that enjoy each other's company, and will allow you to be creative and allow you to have ideas and not get in your way and not play the political games and not be the silliness that a lot of this is. This is one of, and that's what this is.
The attention the show received, the critical acclaim, the Peabody Award, the nominations it's collected, are all gravy. I mean, we wanted to make a successful show for the Sci-Fi Channel that would surprise some people. And we had lofty goals, for sure. The group of people that we gathered, the kind of work that we were able to accomplish, and the feeling of family, real family, that developed on that set and with that crew, and back in LA with post-production and the writing staff, it just doesn't come along. Oftentimes, if it does, you're really happy about it, but the show sucks. In this case, we actually had both. The show really worked, and the experience was singular. So, we took a lot of pictures and, sent a lot of letters and love notes to each other when it all ended, because I think we all knew it's just never going to get that good again.
Michael, I'm sorry. I'm not going to smile for you at the end of this thing. It's not a happy ending for me. I destroyed the planet and killed billions of people. It's not yeah, oh, great!
Well, I already have it.
Lucky you. Lucky you.